Hey, this is Steven Silver, and this is a small little art talk here. But today, I know a lot of students are graduating out there, so I was asked by a couple of different schools to come and give maybe a commencement speech, but I couldn't attend those. So I'm going to do a broad little commencement speech for everyone who's interested in maybe listening, maybe. So, you know, what I would say is now that you're graduating, you're kind of getting out into the real world, the most important thing is just to stay calm. That's the first thing, okay? Your goal is to definitely, now you got to focus on building up that portfolio. And my recommendation to you is to make sure that you're putting in your portfolio what it is that you truly want to do. Okay, you don't just want to throw in everything. Don't just throw in your school assignments because it's just extra stuff to throw in your portfolio because that was what you were supposed to do. Okay, I don't really like doing storyboards, but I did it for a storyboard class, and so I'm going to throw that in there. You don't want to do that, okay? It's same thing with the characters, same thing with the props, same thing with the layout. Don't throw in those school assignments that you weren't excited about, because those are the things that people are going to focus on and start to go, ooh, that's not so strong, that doesn't look so good, you know. So that's my recommendation first and foremost, is do not do that. And yeah, just start. Now is your time to, it's not gonna, some of you may get jobs right out of school, some of you not, okay? Don't get into a place of feeling bad about yourself if you're seeing some of your schoolmates get those jobs and you're not, because sometimes, you know, maybe those schoolmates were putting in more time than you did. And it could be as simple as that. Maybe they were really going hard and you thought maybe, but I didn't see them doing that, but maybe they were behind closed doors. And that's what has built up their portfolio just a little bit stronger than yours. So make sure that you are really just focusing on that thing that you love. If you love drawing characters, just put characters. Backgrounds, props, all the same thing. It's just make sure you have that specifically catered, so because that's what the studios are looking for. Some studios, the smaller studios, like to see the jack of all trades, and because they may throw you a bunch of different hats to wear. Hey, we need you to do this and we need you to do this. That can happen for sure. So, you know, you can always be prepared. That doesn't mean that you have to learn everything. Myself, I didn't learn everything. I tried doing storyboards once when I was hired at Warner Brothers, and quite honestly, I didn't like it at all. It just wasn't my thing. I just didn't want to do it. And you know, storyboard artists, these guys, they work the hardest in the industry. You know, they work the longest hours. It's a lot of work, and it wasn't that I was afraid of the work. It was just that it didn't excite me. So I wanted to do things that were going to be exciting for me. Okay. When I was first got in doing my very first portfolio was just built on when I got hired at Warner Brothers, and it was a different time then, but just had a bunch of caricatured figure drawing. You know, I didn't just have figure drawing in there. It was figure drawing with personality. So it wasn't like, okay, great, he can draw anatomy. It's like, the reality is the anatomy can sometimes be way too overrated in your portfolio because you're not being hired to do that. You're not going to do that. It has a specific focus, you know, and you know, it's important to learn certain things, but don't go overboard and think they just want to see all my anatomy, because they don't. How do I transition that into a cartoon? As long as you can take those drawings, those figure drawings, and transition them into more of a cartoon style, that's what's going to be effective. That's what people are going to be looking for when you start putting that together. Okay, so that's important. And so as I had that, I had a lot of sketches from my observations in my sketchbook, because I was drawing people all the time. A lot of just different, you know, cartoons of just variations of things. And I didn't know what I was doing because I never went to school. No one said this is what you're supposed to put in your portfolio. But what got me the job, I believe, is just that my stuff was really so versatile. It was all over the place, but again, it was all character and caricature related. And that's what got me in the door, because they saw, hey, this guy's using his imagination and look what he can do. Maybe he can match this style, because your goal is to be matching. Most of the time, you're going to be mimicking other people's style. You're not going to be the one who's called upon to design the show from scratch. You know, that will happen at certain times, but the reality of most times, you're going to be mimicking someone else's style. And that's why it's so vital and important. And what I teach at my school is just for people to learn to draw and from others. There's that saying, mimicry is a prerequisite to creativity. I truly believe that you got to learn from others and you start to pull those influences for yourself. So as you're getting out there in the real world, again, don't be discouraged. Don't spend too much time just in sorrow looking at everyone else's artwork thinking, why isn't that me? This is your time to take the initiative, to put in the time, to do your best. Think about what it is that you truly want to achieve, what it is that you want to do, and go for that and attack that, okay? And that's what you got to do. So congratulations to all of you guys that are have graduated. Hopefully you're not in too much debt and you got to pay back too much, but get out there and don't get discouraged, and try different things, and know that this is what life is. It's all an experience, okay? And once you realize that you're here to experience all these things, you're here to experience defeat, you're here to experience joy, you're here to experience life in so many different ways, and embrace that. And most important, my parting words are just to enjoy this, enjoy whatever it is. When you just start to just become more present no matter what you're doing, and not worrying so much about what's going to happen down the road, and just enjoy whatever it is and stay positive, keep that strong mindset. You can do it. I did it somehow just through that that mindset. It worked for me. I wasn't that talented when I first started at all. You know, all I had was the drive, the desire, and the passion to keep getting better, and that was my driving force. But if I've posted some of my older stuff before and you see it, it's god awful, but that's okay, because I knew I wanted to get better, and I took those steps to just keep improving. All right, so that's it. You guys have a Merry Christmas, and toodles.